Xin chào everybody, and welcome back to Evil GM Plays The Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus non-live stream. I have arrived to Prague, Czech Republic many hours ago, approximately maybe 10, something like that, 11 hours ago. And it's, oh boy, lots of walking. It's sunnier, definitely sunnier than Finland. I can definitely understand why Exotic Butters said it's practically summer already. Maybe in Athens, I mean it's in Mediterranean area, but you know, Finland, it's the land of reindeers, polar bears, and penguins. I did make two other recordings after the first one, but I wasn't that happy about the audio level, and also I noticed that when I passed the tax-free shop and was talking about different Finnish products, you know, salty licorice and fatter chocolate and whatnot. There was a moment when they played some song from the radio, and you know, since I don't know really how zeros and ones work in YouTube, I could have just risked my chance of, you know, losing the whole audio just because the program recognizes the song and says, hey, you're not allowed to use this one. Okay, well, whatever. Currently, I'm just lying in bed after a long day, and what basically happened during the day was that we had almost 2 roundish 2 hours of a flight. Had a nap, had some bilberry juice. People still call stuff blueberry. Although I was surprised that this box of juice actually read bilberry. But then again, I don't think that company is Finnish one. But hey, we arrived to Prague, Czech Republic. I still don't know how to pronounce the name of the freaking city, but anyways, we had a ride. We had a ride to our hotel. We got to check in. We stayed there for a few, maybe half an hour or so, and we went to catch a brunch. Basically, it was breakfast for me, and it was second breakfast for Eve's family. And I, from all the stuff that I could have had, I took Vienne style coffee and Benedict. Nothing to do with the Cumberbatch, just eggs Benedict, except this one had smoked salmon with it. And I was a bit skeptical if it would fit, but hey, it did. It did add some saltiness, but the amount of rucola in the whole set was ew. It's the original one uses spinach, but you know, since rucola is way cheaper, guess they'll just use it. Although the price of the whole brunch breakfast thing was way cheaper than in Finland, so it was. I'm not complaining that much. Also, I should really stop thinking about the prices in euros, because everything's gonna be cheap. Instead, if I know what's the local price, I can actually make comparison whether the meal is cheap or not. For instance, I did notice one steakhouse that had like prime rib, a really good marbled prime rib with aged prime rib, and the price was around something like 40 euros. And for 400 grams of prime ribs with bone in, that's a hell of a good price. You can't get that in Finland. It's probably gonna cost like double amount, something like 80 euros. If Goodwin would ever sell something like that. And of course they use charcoal grill. That's so great about Czech Republic, that there's basically charcoal grills everywhere. Not every place though, but quite many enough. And the food culture here is, you can basically go around any corner and you would find, at least in the central area where most of the tourism is, you can find around every corner some sort of store that sells snacks or rents restaurants. And I'm happy with that. It's the prices are like half the price compared to Finland, so sometimes even less. And you know, after our brunch, we walked around and saw a few places. Like we also saw this thing where the people of Czech just basically they make cinnamon rolls, but they're empty. It almost acts like a cup, and you're supposed to fill it with either sauce or just eat it like that, or you could put ice cream with it. So basically, if you're feeling like cinnamon rolls or ice cream, why not have them both? You know, sponsored by Demons of Gluttony. Unfortunately, we didn't take any because we were planning to have 9 pounds of meat or 4.5 kilos of stuff in a restaurant close to our place, our hotel. We already booked a table for 6 around 6 o'clock, I suppose, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. 5, yeah, it was 5 o'clock. And when we arrived there, I had a few appetizers. I had pickled camembert. Seems like the Czech people just love the white cheese. It's camembert almost everywhere, and this one was pickled camembert with. If you're hearing some noises, it's just Eve using the hair dryer. Pickled camembert with cranberry jam, cranberry jelly, whatever you want to call it. And the other appetizer was beer cheese. I think it was some sort of almost like white cheese. I don't know how they got the beer flavor in it, but the others didn't like the aftertaste of the thing that much. But when you eat it with the local bread or the mustard they had with, it actually balances the taste quite well. When finally the entree came, there were like a bunch of gnocchi style potato things, canoodles, not noodles, canoodles, mashed potatoes mixed with flour, so it turns into like pasta like stuff, Unfortunately, they didn't have any herbs with them, or they didn't actually flavor most of the stuff so much. So things weren't that tasty. Unfortunately, from all the items in the whole platter, I think I liked the most was the sauerkraut. Yeah, the uh, the cabbage that were pickled and fried or boiled, the red one and the white cabbage, either of them, and lightly sweet, sweet and salty, sour-ish. Yeah, that's that's kind of sauerkraut I'm talking about. Uh, the duck they had, the skin was crispy, but that is because they drop it in the deep fryer, so it actually gets ultimately crispy. But the bad thing is that the the skin and the fat of the duck is gonna grab all the taste from deep frying oil, of course. And they also kept it there for way too long, so the duck just lost most of the moist and came dry. Almost same thing with the ribs. I think we had some. They were pork ribs and they were pork neck. It was that dry. That was dry, and the only thing that wasn't that dry was the pork knuckle, uh, which unfortunately didn't have the taste of beer as much as I would have wanted, if at all. Even though the menu says that it contains the whole platter contains one uh, beer marinated pork knuckle. Uh, so I even tried out the local cuisine, which is like fruit dumplings with some sweet cheese. I didn't even know that they could have had sweet cheese. I do know that Finland has some cheese that people eat as a dessert, but this cheese was actually a bit sweet. I'm not sure if they have done anything to it after grading, but I think I taste. It could be that they powdered it with the snow. You know the really fine sugar, snow sugar, dust sugar, and and well, the problem with dumpling is that the batter didn't contain salt at all. And if you're wondering, do desserts need salt? Yeah, if you ever gonna make buns, you gotta have a really small amount of salt so that it it gives more taste to the whole flavor palette. It's otherwise it's gonna just taste weird and bland. Try it out someday. Just make one patch, one bun without salt, and you'll see the difference. So the batter didn't have any salt. It didn't have any sugar either. It just tasted almost tasteless, and there was way too much batter compared to the amount of fruit inside. It was just one full sweet cherry, and even that, I think I would have wanted more cherry, or at least have the cherry in other form. Could have wanted like how do you say jam like or whatever. You know, they could have frozen the thing and wrapped the bun around it, and then make the whole thing crispy somehow. by deep frying it or just frying it lightly on the pan or in the oven. But it seemed like the whole thing was just steamed without any flavors. So in the end, it just turned out to be freaking freaking tasteless. I did try to cover it with special coffee. Worth it? It's not Argentinian, Algerian. Was it Algerian?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Algerian special coffee where you have kind of like cappuccino, except you also have, well, it's not cappuccino. It's not foamed milk. It was whipped cream, and you're supposed to have a shot of some Algerian a I want to say anise, but it's anise. Yeah, anise liquor. Uh, bit spicy and cinnamon like flavors. The whole thing. One shot of it in the whole special coffee brew. Well, unfortunately, our waitress, I mean waiter probably didn't know how to make it, so he tried to cover it up by saying that they have a new menu and they don't serve it. And when he went behind the counter and asked the other waiter, I could actually see them from the gestures that the other just told him that yeah you just make the basic coffee like that this and add this liquor to it, that's all. And he's like, oh, and he later came back to the table and said, sorry, we can make it, is that okay? And I said, sure. So he went to do it, came back with it, and yeah, the coffee was fine. I was overall experience in that place was quite disappointing. It's well, at least the sausages were good. They had to check sausages. They can make sausages as good as in Finland. You know, Finland and Germany are one of these countries in Europe that can actually make good hot dogs, sausages, that is. And after the whole experience, we had a long break to have, to just push down all the food and meat from the upper part of the body to the lower part of the body so that we could actually move around the city again. So, around 1 or 1.5 of a small break, went for a walk, so many things, and nightlife time of Prague, Czech Republic. And now we're back at the restaurant. We made a reservation for tomorrow's some medieval restaurant. We're gonna eat a lot of stuff again, have unlimited amount of things to drink, and also probably some show of people juggling fire and daggers and wizards and sorcerers and whatnot. Oh, we'll see tomorrow. We also uh, have a reservation for the boat tour around the river. Yeah, almost said lake, river that goes across the whole the Vltava River. Ironically, it almost resembles the word Valtava in Finnish, which is huge. Well, that's almost about it for the whole day. I'm still wondering how the stream will, well, not stream, the recordings are going to turn out, as I'll have to check out the recordings, like putting the audio on top of some game. At least like my game performance should be better. I shouldn't have any excuses why I keep dying all the time. But hey, what would Evil GM be without dying on 80% of the game run times? So stay tuned, and you'll probably hear this video somewhere around in a few days when I come back to Finland and do some editing. So hit the like, hit the sub, hit the share, and hit all the positive buttons, and stay away from the negative one, the thumbs down thing. And I'll see you next time. Good night!